Everyone, so welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be learning the different ways you can lock your seam lines without using interlocking. As you don't use interlocking, you don't take it to the locking machine, you just want something fast and easy, or if you don't have, then this method is for you to give it that nice finishing instead of having those rough edges. So this is, I have two fabric. For example, let me say this is like a trouser or a gown. Then you want to lock this side without using your interlocking. You want it to look neat. You want it to have that nice finishing. So you join the two fabrics, same way you're like joining two sides together. That's the same method you're going to use. So the first method is what I'm about to show you. So let me see, for example, this is this side. You can see this side is the back of it, the two back, and this is the front. So I'm going to be joining, let me see, for example, this is like a skirt. So the two sides of the skirt, the back and the front, I will make sure they are facing each other. The right side, this is the right side, this is the wrong side. I'll make sure the front and right side are facing each other. Then I'll run a stitch from the beginning and straight down to the end of the gown. I'm using this as an example. Let me say this is a gown. I ran a stitch. This is the seam line. This is the front. I ran a stitch, so my seam is showing. For this method, you need to make sure that you leave an allowance of this, because if you leave like let me say half an inch allowance and you're doing this, then you're going to run into shortage of fabric. So make sure you're leaving, like, if you know you're going to use this method maybe for like a skirt or a gown or a trouser, make sure you're leaving like at least, let me say, 1.5 inch allowance for this. If not, you'll be running into problems, you're running into shortage of fabric. So if you don't want that, then leave enough allowance so that will cover the issue you might face. So you don't want to run a shortage of fabric for this method. You have to leave enough allowance for this method. So this is how it will be looking. This will be the front, and this will be the back. So you can see how neat it's going to be. So that's the first method. So the second method, let's go to the second method. So the second method, still the second method, you still need to leave allowance for this, because you're going to be aiming the down part, the side seam, fold it into two like this after running your stitch along. So you still need 1.5 inches allowance for this. You need to leave allowance for this if you are using this method, so you don't run shortage of fabric too. So this one, you don't need to sew on the right side, so you're going to be sewing on the wrong side, same way you're making your cut, your clothes or your dress. So let me assume this is the skirt or a gown or a trouser. So I'm leaving 1.5 inches allowance. Let me say that's 4 centimeters allowance. Then I'll run a stitch straight down. This is doing that. I'll open my seam up. With this method, you don't need to take it to the interlocking machine. So at this two rough side, I'm going to be folding it into two, so I can get a nice finishing. So fold it like this. As I say, you need to leave allowance for this method. Fold it into two. Remember to shift this part of it inside so you don't make a mistake by sewing it with the first side. So see the first side how it looks. You don't need interlocking machine for this. This will give you a nice finished look. The only problem is you need to leave enough allowance for this method so you don't run shortage of fabric. So you can see how it looks. Look neat. So you do the same thing you did here, you do it here. Ring thread so you will see it clearly. So you can see how it looks. Nice finishing. You don't need interlocking for this after doing this. The only thing is to leave enough allowance. So this is the look. So the third method we'll be doing is, we're going to be using, the third method is for you to use a bias tape. So this is a bias. You need to get a bias tape for this. Either you buy the one they sell at the market, or you just make your own fabric bias. Maybe the fabric you cut it in the bias form, then you make your own, or you just use this already made ones. So any ones that work for you, it's fine. So for this method, you are going to be, you still need to leave allowance for this method. You need allowance. Same thing. And make sure that your fabric are equal. One is no longer than the other one. So after running a stitch, you place the bias at the edge like this. Then you sew one side straight down. You sew from here straight down to the end of the fabric. So after running this, the point is just for you to cover the rough edge. That's like the basic. So turn it up like this. Then you run your stitch and sew. So either method that works for you is fine. So the point is just to cover this rough edge so it will not be shiny. So this is going to come out beautiful and to look nice. You see how nice and neat the finishing is. So that's that for the method on how to cover your seam lines. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you're able to learn one or two things on this our quick tutorial. So please guys, like and subscribe. Please share my video if you find it helpful. And also please subscribe to my channel. I'll really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for those that have subscribed. Thank you for supporting. Thank you so much. I hope you're able to learn one or two things in this video. See you in our next class. Bye.